Joy 99.7 FM. Geek Squad. Geek Squad.
Hello and good evening. It's 7 minutes after 7. Actually just turned 8 minutes after 7 on my time. And it's Tuesday, so the geeks are here. It's the last Tuesday of the month of August, and as tradition has it, we will have our question and answer session, our Q&A session. So any tech-related questions you have, any tech-related problems, any tech wahala, just holla at us, and we will try our best to solve it. Winston, welcome. Michael, welcome. And Kukwan Answer, welcome. I've welcomed you guys. You don't need to say anything. Now I'm going to welcome our guests. So we have, some very important people. More important than our usual panelists.
Wow, spiky.
Yeah. Let me do this to you guys. I only get to do this to you guys on air here.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So we have members of the Accra.net user group. We have Yao and we have Frank. And then we have Samuel.
Yeah.
See, I got it. And then we have Joshua of the IoT group, IoT network. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Geek Squad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so today we're not having our usual, interviews and discussions as we usually have. But on our Q&A days, before we have our questions come in, we like to talk about what's trending in the tech world. And so you guys hit me up with something that is trending in your tech world. What is trending? What news have you guys heard? Anyone? Anything trending that you think our listeners should hear, should know? First off, okay, let me start, since everybody's thinking. There was a post on Instagram that was going around saying dude, I gave you an opportunity.
Sorry, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, you finished. Sorry, apologies.
And a lot of people were sharing this. And I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but Instagram is not going to use your data or your messages sent against you. And the English that was used to write this post was so terrible.
The school teacher.
Please. The truth is, Instagram is an international company. Obviously, their communication will be handled by professionals who know how to speak English very well. So if you're seeing something that does not come across as very convincing, I'd advise you to take it with a pinch of salt or not take it at all.
Sure.
I mean, I want to read.
It's a very long post.
It's a very long post, but just the section. What's his name? Trevor Noah actually made a joke about the same thing.
Okay.
Saying that he could use people's data. He was Instagram and he could use people's data. That was a very funny post. But anyway, that's from me. Anyone have anything to share?
When you say anything to share, you mean
Tech related.
Tech related. Oh, so
It's Geek Squad. If you ask this question again.
the trade wars are still ongoing.
Yes.
And apparently Apple could have to leave China. Apparently. We don't know how true that is. But it seems like China is trying to push Apple out of the system. Seems. We don't know how true that is. Do we I want to ask if we care. But I feel like there could be some Apple users here, so yeah. Do you care?
Do Apple users care? Obviously, Apple users would care because coming out of China means that the prices of the devices are going to go higher, right?
Yeah, but they would have to move to India. Everybody seems no. Apparently, they are moving to. I think is it Taiwan or Hong Kong or one of those countries because what their major producer is actually the president of their major producer has resigned and is now running for president of said country. I've forgotten what country it is. This happened some months back. But yeah, basically Apple is doing some interesting stuff. But since we are talking about questions, I want to give a shout out to my Uber driver, Salasi. He gave us a very good question I've already asked.
Oh, he's a listener.
Yes, he is.
That's wonderful.
That's very wonderful. So I hope you have a good evening, Salasi. And his question is, how do you detect an authentic charging cable?
USB cable.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have just one way that I use to check. The fake ones or the unauthentic cables, the micro USB ports, the one that goes into your phone, is usually a tad longer than the original one. So when you put it in your phone, you'd have some extra metal sticking out there.
Okay.
So that's one way that I use to identify it. I don't know if there are any other ways.
Well, we looked it up, and the other way we found, it seems like we would have to buy our math sets again because it actually talked about the fact that the other end, the end that goes into your charger, needs to be perfectly perpendicular to the straight line. So you would have to get
perfectly perpendicular to which straight line?
So it has to form a perfect 90-degree angle. And that's weird. So the end that enters the charger and the rest of the cable, there's this budge above it. Yeah, it's supposed to form a 90
Okay. So the cable part, the part that comes out of the back of the cable that goes into your charger, has to form a perfect 90-degree angle.
Yes, with the metal part that does enter the
so
charger.
In effect, when you're going to buy a cable at Circle, go with your protractors and just do that.
Yeah.
You might as well just walk into a shop that sells authentic.
And
it's a safer option, but as we heard last time, our listeners are not always looking for it. They're always looking for good deals. So that leads them into very dark and dusty paths. But another way you can check is also to just take a close look at the fit and finish of the cable, or rather the peripheral you're holding. Usually the fake ones have some sort of gap or slight, like you said, take a mask kit with you because there are weird gaps here. I think it's not quite straight at this angle. Like this end of the cable is warped for some reason. And if the seller is trying to cover it, then don't take it. But the deals are always rigged against your favor. Don't go for them.
Yeah.
Oh, and also in the news of tech news, Winston mentioned Apple might move out of China. Then there's also a chance that your video games consoles, for those of us who are blessed to use such things instead of certain PC gamers out there, would also be getting more expensive. Because they also, according thanks to the recent spate of trade, can't call them wars yet.
Well,
trade
prelims.
Trade prelims.
Yeah.
Well, in the recent spate of them, soon Sony and Microsoft, to a degree as well, may have to move their console manufacturing elsewhere. And as is the state of manufacturing, that is going to raise costs. So we expect next time when the PS5 comes out, it's going to be quite expensive. It's going to get worse. So something to remember for Christmas 2020.
Now, has anyone here seen the movie The Great Hack?
I've been looking forward to seeing that movie. I haven't seen it yet.
Not yet.
No. Oh, I think everyone needs to see it.
Yeah, I've heard.
Because it's about the Cambridge Analytica scandal. And I'm pretty sure when people see that movie, privacy settings would go from 0 to 100 real quick.
Now the question is about privacy settings is that, do you not think that passive data generated, like your in Uber, your travel history stuff, like they need to keep track of these kind of things, those passive, don't you think it's more potent than even active data, like data that you have to say yes or no to before? Because I feel like sometimes Google just knowing where you're going, you can check your Google history and to tell you everywhere you've been. Isn't that a bit more dangerous, quote unquote, dangerous than you telling Google that no, don't track my cookies and blah blah blah.
Well, personally, I think that applications that require you to share your data before you do anything should be given that permission, but it should be rescinded right after. Do you get, like, for instance, if I should give my Uber permission to know my location and then, destination, it should just be between the app, me, and the driver, like at that moment.
Okay, so
it
it should be
shouldn't
an
be
end-to-end.
stored somewhere where
a
someone
cloud.
could access it later.
Okay.
But I mean, obviously, it's supposed to help with AI. I know our programmers would, you're looking at me with that mean eye, like, that all that data goes to help AI to get better.
Oh yeah, all that data, including them passively recording you.
So you should, people like me would willingly give out data because we know how important it is.
Would you really?
It has been.
I've given all of your data out.
That's a great AI machine.
Oh, okay.
If you're listening and you want to join the conversation via WhatsApp or Telegram, just send a message to 0244 340 437. It's 0244 340 437. We already got some questions coming in. Someone's asking, good evening, Spiky and team. Please, how do I know if a phone has been refurbished? How do I check to see if a phone is refurbished? That's Emmanuel from La Paz. Kukwana says, right down your lane. How does one check if a phone is refurbished?
I'm sure he will know it. Just look at those stickers at the back of the
When you
phone.
say
Sometimes,
stickers,
they have these white stickers that
I have a white sticker on my phone. Okay,
Not
I'll
that
check it
way,
out.
not that way. These ones are used in sealing the parts that you can open. So
Right.
in case you go and buy it and you open it yourself, which means it's not returnable anymore. Yes, because
Okay.
the thing already is faulty. That has been repaired and brought back onto the market.
So those shiny reflective stickers that indicate whether a phone has been tampered, when they sell it to you, they put those stickers on it. So it's not from the manufacturer, it's from the seller.
Yes.
Then you know it's been refurbished. Okay, so that's a way.
I think there's another way to
Mm.
check. So actually, there are factory refurbished.
Yes.
phones.
Yeah.
So those go through factory approved processes and all that. I think there is some kind of IMEI thing that when you use, if it's starting with a certain number, you know that okay, this has gone through the refurbished pipeline.
Right.
But I'm not too sure of that. I would find out in the course of the program to probably share it. But I know that's
Great.
another way to check if it's refurbished. But else, if it's just wayside refurbishment, then
Yeah, you're on your
They
own.
use a stick.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we'll get that
Yeah.
answer in a bit. Kokwana, someone's asking
No.
to link. Okay. Let's move on.
About the security bit.
Yes.
If there is someone out there who is overly concerned about all this data that is floating around, I think that there is an aspect of mobile phone that a lot of people have shied away from.
Mhm.
But recently BlackBerry has released the Key 2, which is running Android,
Mhm.
and they've actually incorporated what they call the DTEC technology. And so with that, it's able to tell you point by point anytime any application is accessing or trying to access any kind of information on your device. So you can set it to either sensitive information, like if you are worried about location. So I tried that and then I put Google on sensitive. Now I realized that I was constantly getting an alert because if I get to the office, it alerts me that this application is trying to access. Should we allow, So if you're overly concerned, maybe you may want to look into DTEC and have it on your phone and then see how best you'll be able to keep yourself from throwing data out there.
Great. That's a very great idea. So you see, some
Yeah.
people are concerned. Me, I will
Personally,
leave my
yeah, I feel
data
like
out.
we are really down that rabbit hole already. So yeah, let's just keep going.
It's just my little 2 cents on that is as application developers we need data to enrich and make that application
Yeah.
I
better.
told you.
Yes.
So
I agree with
I
that.
understand there's some portions of applications in terms of security or your personal information that you want to keep private. But again, there are settings that allow you to not track it, wipe it. But then you're not going to get experience. I mean, like Yao said, yeah, you might install that, but think about it. Every time the app pops up, you need to say yes, no. The inconvenience alone,
Yes, in
would say,
itself.
you know what, just track it. But like you mentioned, there are passive data that we share all the time that we don't know about.
Man.
I'm not against Snapchat or all these Instagram stuff, but I keep telling friends of mine that be careful what you share on social media. Like, I have friends who wake up. I know, people who are actually listening now will know who is talking about this and why I'm saying it. People wake up in the morning and Snapchat is big. They take a picture. Now, over time, and this is from a security aspect, over time, you have built some kind of, I can follow you for a certain number of like days or months and know your routine.
Yeah.
So if I want to stalk you, if I want to harm you or anything, I know that, okay, every morning by 6, she does this, he does this. And these are things we feel, oh yeah, it's cool. So there are things we should be watching out for, as opposed to, applications asking, I want your data to be able to fine tune and, know that, I can help you or give you, good suggestions. For instance, if I get to work at 8 every day and I close at, let's say, 6 every day, because of the continuous data collection, by, let's say, 5 a.m., Google knows that you should be, getting ready to leave, correlated with traffic and all that. If it's like 4:30 and it's almost 5, it's like, well, it's time to go home. Aside the, the concern, there are positive sides that we need to look at and see how best we can, maybe help application developers share just some information that will enrich the application. So that's just my take on it.
We've had this conversation about privacy by design.
Yeah.
So how about this is a good segue into that conversation. Do you developers, would you prefer does it affect you, privacy by design? Does it affect the impact? Does it have an impact on the application?
Does it affect how long it would take for you to build your software? Does it inconvenience you in any way? Does it make anything better
or worse?
Yes.
Not necessarily affect how long it takes to build the application.
Okay.
But it definitely affects the the features or the impact of the application performance. Like, for instance, if you're not sharing your data, like let's say location and all that, Google will not be able to tell you or give you suggestive like things.
Yeah, like traffic.
Yeah,
that's
updates.
one, and that's a feature you've lost in the application. Until they know that you commute from point A to point B all the time, like you said, AI will figure out, okay, this is his route, and therefore let's see what other values we can add. To the extent even ride sharing, they're like, okay, you apply the same route, the same route, you're all on Uber. It gets to a point where they're like, Charlie, you and you
link up.
Yeah, why don't you just couple? Because you guys are on the same route, on the same app. This is how sharing some information helps. It doesn't affect how long, but it affects the features.
Okay.
So, it's a story that a hacker claims that he can turn off 25,000 cars at the push of a button.
Sorry?
A hacker, he claims he can turn off 25,000 cars at the push of a button, all because of the immobilizer that is installed in cars. But that vulnerability has since been fixed since he came up with that.
Oh, okay.
That just, brings us to talk about, are you here? How hackers take advantage of our everyday tech. Usually people would rather take advantage of starting the car, exploiting, the starting feature. But he's rather looking at it from the point where nobody would have thought. Who would have thought about turning off cars? But
no. Fast and Furious did turn it on. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, they turn it.
They turn them off as well.
Yeah.
They turn them off.
Fuck, you can always rely on Fast and Furious for these things.
What happened is one of the Cherokees, I think,
Yeah.
2014 Cherokee, was hacked to the extent that the guy could actually stop the car.
Yeah, apply the
He
brakes.
he could apply the brakes. He could turn on the stereo. He could almost like just control the car. So for me, I think when it comes to data and security and all this, I have a personal ideology that states if you want your data to be safe, just keep it off the grid. Because once you have it sitting on a remote server somewhere,
Someone can
it is prone to some extent of vulnerability. If you look at all these big companies like the Twitters and all of them, they've all had some extent of data breach. So that means that the data being stored on these servers to some extent is not so safe. And when it comes to our emails, like using other services, there's a Microsoft security guy called Troy Hunt. I don't know if anybody knows of him. Yeah. So what Troy Hunt does is he has this site that he collects all data breaches. So he actually buys it online then he puts it on his server called Have I Been Pwned?
Okay.
So what you can also do is with your emails and your various login passwords, you could just log in and check if you've been pwned before.
Yeah.
If you have, then you have to change your password. And also, we need to try as much as possible to use the MFAs, the 2FAs. People don't use them. I see people just logging in straight. I'm like, aren't you doing any
almost
TOTP?
always tell them.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't really understand that to some extent. So I think this platform is also a good way to educate them about it. Because without 2FA, MFA, trust me, anybody can just log into your...
Once they get your username and your password. Yeah, Joshua.
I also want to talk something small about the security.
Right.
When it comes to data, I think we are going to get into an era where we're going to collect a lot of it. So the fact that we are turning off some features of an app not to allow our data to be shared, I don't think is what the future is looking towards. Because imagine having all smart appliances in our houses, collecting data of environment. I mean, if you don't want to enjoy the smart environment, the smart city, you have to be upgraded. But when it comes to security, or you could have a secure system, but if we don't live the security lifestyle, human can be vulnerable. So you can have a secure system, but the people who use the system could be vulnerable to attacking to the system. So security should be by lifestyle, and we should share as much as possible data that we don't mind sharing as possible, because data is the new oil. And
for those that know how to mine it.
And I also think that the future that we're living in, the business model is based on data. That's why most of the apps we use are free. So it means we are the product. The data we generate are the product they sell back to us. So that's how the future of solutions are going to be.
Okay.
To add a little to what you said, I don't know if the Great Hack had that, but when the whole Cambridge Analytica issue, the thing is that where we've got into, it's not even about you. You can be off the grid as much as you want.
But someone puts you on
But someone puts you on the grid. Someone is just taking a picture with you, and
Someone like
they are building up so many. I think how many was it? 2,500 data points per person in the United States that they had. And when we say data points, that means that if it was a myself essay, they've answered 2,500 questions about you.
And some of them, the people actually don't know about themselves. That's the interest.
You have 2,500 questions about you.
Nah.
Exactly. No one has that, but they have that.
You know, when this app came that make you look
Yeah.
old, and US was very concerned because
It's from Russia.
you know it's from Russia and they could be doing facial recognition experiment with it and all that. And so I cautioned a few friends of mine that look, don't install this app because there's a concern and we don't know where it's leading to. So I determined that I'm not going to use it. Now I get somebody take my picture, use it and send it to me. That is how you look like when you're old, So I'm trying to prevent myself from using it, but somebody else put me into it, So yeah.
Spiky, does that story sound familiar?
Spiky, with the Have I Been Pwned, that software and this one, I think it's rather a data collecting mechanism.
Yes.
Because they will end up having everybody testing their emails over there, and they will collect that one rather.
Okay, but to be safe, Google also created an extension that does that same check, that does a similar check, and even tells you if your password has been in a breach before, and even recommends a better password for you. So let's just, for the sake of...
But don't they save what you
see, and that's where I wanted to segue this into, like, could the data be anonymized so much so that even if there was a breach, it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be a case. Like, if there was a breach right now and then people saw, like, someone got into a database, it's so anonymized and it's so detached from me. You don't know it's me. There's so many copies out there, so many spikies out there. How could you even say it was me?
So the problem is that if that happens, we can, as app developers, we can provide that personalized, experience. That's not going to happen. And problems with anonymity and all that doesn't help. For instance, take blockchain.
Yeah.
Okay. The technology blockchain, the technology itself, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's distributed. Even if you go deep into it, it's been there for ages.
Yeah.
All right. But Bitcoin running on that technology had a lot of issues because anonymous, who sends the money? I don't know if you remember, some guy died and
Yeah,
Charlie
in
went
Canada.
with,
In Canada.
you know,
Went to the
so
parcel.
that's some of the problems, you know, that, you know, it raises. If you are worried about, you know, passwords and all that, you have to share some amount of it. I, for instance, I use a LastPass, so it randomly generates password when I go to some site and it stores it for me.
Yeah.
You can choose to make it offline, so it doesn't actually go into the cloud. So once I have it connected in my browser, once I go there, I don't even
Think about it.
So there are, you know, and that's also another app. Maybe you say that, well,
It's
that's
also collecting.
It's also tracking.
some amount of data have to be shared. Yeah.
Great. So if you're listening to us and you have a question or you want to make a submission, you can call us on 0244340437 or 0302216541. 0302216541 or 0244340437. Or you can send us a WhatsApp or a Telegram. It's 0244340437. So someone says, here's a point of correction. Apple is not pulling out operations from China because China wants them out. They are being pushed out because of the trade war started by Honorable Donald Trump.
Apparently, it's both ways now. So it's a two-way thing. Oh, but to add a little to that anonymity thing.
Let me finish reading our messages, then you can. Hi, techies. I have a MacBook Air which has been crashing after recently updating to Mojave. Any solutions?
How old is this?
Yeah, like what year model
Yeah.
MacBook Air? That's very important. And your specs, if you may.
Yeah.
So we've got some more messages. Hi, guys. This is Juve. I would like to know what our internet service providers in Ghana understand by unlimited. There's an unlimited package, however, you've been given a limited amount of gigabytes and it's been called unlimited.
I understand this person, and
Yeah.
I don't want to call out any names, but the whole pitch, what he's trying to say is that they tell you that the data is unlimited, but they give you a certain speed at
Yeah,
a
they cap the
limited
speed.
cap, and then they throttle it down for your unlimited experience. And sometimes said unlimited experience is not so
It's
great.
rubbish,
It's very
basically.
bad.
Well, I think it's all over the world.
Is it?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people complain in other countries about that same thing where they throttle your speeds and they claim it's unlimited, but then you have throttled speeds.
I don't hear that complaint in South Korea.
Well,
Oh well, I mean,
That's them.
I mean, when we got our independence, South Korea was
Oh,
still
history
there,
lesson.
so
That's how they did that.
yeah, how much better are they than us?
I think I have a little information. A friend of mine is in South Korea, and he ended up talking to some of the old folks, and he was like, the old folks have a problem with the youth today because it's like they are not selfless, they are not patriotic. So basically what the old folks were saying was that they sacrifice their comforts to make South Korea what it is now, but the youth, all they care about is K-pop, and I listen to K-pop, by the way.
So yeah, you're not in a position to talk.
So, Kobe, good evening. Please, I asked this question before, but I will ask again. How can I retrieve my Yahoo Mail account? That's very important information that I need from there. I have tried everything humanly possible, but to no avail. Please help.
If you have really tried everything, then I think you should call Yahoo.
yeah.
I think you really need to call Yahoo. Someone I know had a problem like that with Yahoo, and then they ended up having to call Yahoo. They answered a few questions and
Yeah,
they had it
Yahoo.
unlocked. So I think you should get Yahoo's contact and then call them. You can call us too on 0302-216-541 or 0244-340-437. I'll repeat it, 0302-216-541 or 0244-340-437. If you have any tech-related questions, you can ask. If not, you can send us a message and we will try to answer it. So guys, PlayStation and Xbox, which one is more prone to hacking and what's up with the next gen consoles? That's from Linus. Linus Tech Tips.
No.
Okay.
No, he wouldn't ask this question.
Well, he could if he was trying to try.
Okay, but
This is Linus. we're
I
talking
think
about.
I think after the PlayStation 3, hacks and stuff don't exist
Well, the
anymore.
PlayStation 4 has
had
been.
you-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Wide
fine.
open, along with the Nintendo
but it's
Switch.
been patched.
It's been
Yeah,
patched.
they patched
No,
it.
but that dance is always going on. And you hack will come.
Come and then, yeah,
I
they figure
think
it
I
out.
think that, you know, PS is always prone to be hacked.
Yeah, more so than.
But no hack.
Actually, it's more public because more people pay attention to that owing to the history of hacks with the PS. You know, George Hotz and all that. Because a lot of people are always trying to figure out what is happening with PS.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Microsoft's consoles have been hacked just as badly. And even currently, the Nintendo Switch has also been hacked.
Oh.
Requires a little bit more fiddling with paper clips and things, but it is possible. Or will we talk about something different? Because when he says hacks, does it mean has the console been cracked, or
Does he mean
No, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that we have to find that distinction, as in cracked or something else, because I know that I've actually had a conversation with team members of Xbox,
Okay.
and we're using some technology years and years ago that made it technically very hard to hack the
Xbox. Oh, okay.
And they've actually brought the same technology, and since my friend is doing IoT, I'm also a geek, crazy about that. They've brought the same thing in something called Azure Sphere. So kind of like there's a separate processor in the Xbox that handles all encryption key so it's not outsourced to something else. So it makes it quite difficult to hack it. Yeah.
Okay, so if you we have a call on the line. Hello, Floyd. Hello, Floyd.
Hello.
Hi, Floyd.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Over the weekend, last week, I heard one hacker was saying he hacked into various CCTV cameras around, and I haven't heard you guys say anything about it. Asking if you heard it, because I didn't hear it, but a friend gave me a gist, and I wanted to know if it's true that he did hack some amount of CCTVs in Ghana.
Oh, in Ghana.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Okay. Right. So we'll look it up and then talk about it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Floyd. So Floyd says a hacker says he's hacked into some CCTV cameras in Ghana.
Well, okay, you go on.
It's very easy.
Yeah.
The truth is that with almost all routers, all CCTV camera systems, a lot of the when they're doing the configurations, they forget to change default passwords.
Yeah, and
there are
default
website
IDs.
now that you can actually see default password for CCTV systems, and most of these people don't change it. So I mean, all the ones around, you can easily get into them. It's not difficult.
Spikey, you see, the only thing they have to do is just go to a site called Shutdown. Wow. Oh yeah. Immediately you type the port or the CCTV camera, whatever inside
Model,
it,
yeah.
to show you any available one online.
Mm.
That has maybe a password of 123 and admin or something like that.
Okay, so we have
Yes, that's
Ajuman
how
on the
easy it
line.
is.
Hello, Ajuman.
Yeah, sorry.
Hi, what's up?
Good things. I hope you're doing good.
I'm very well. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
I want to know, Saki, in my room,
Mm-hmm.
there are two particular networks. When I'm using them in my room,
Mm-hmm.
Masa, very, very poor. Very poor.
Mobile networks you're
Even
talking about.
Even the edge, I'll see some dots, which means there's nothing coming out of it.
Wow.
But the same network, when I move away from the room outside, it is great. When I take to my workplace, fantastic. So sometimes I even prompt to change the apartment to go and rent somewhere or to change the SIM. So which one do you think is important? Because I think in the villages where one will say that the pole is no closer to this place, or unless you go and climb the mountain. But we are in the city like someone. I don't understand why. Why is it happening like that?
Okay.
And also quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know. There are some. Is it true that there are some televisions? They are resistant to tender.
Mm.
Yeah, that's my question.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling, Ajumai.
Okay.
We have another call on the line before we answer. Ajumai. Hello, Ivy.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Please, I have the same problem with the Yahoo Messenger, the Yahoo Mail.
Right.
Please, can you give us your number again? It was too fast. I was writing it, but it was too fast. Can you give it out the number again?
Okay. All right. So we'll give the contact out when we're done. Thank you.
But please let it be slow so that we can take it.
Okay. All right. I will.
Thank
You're welcome. So first off with Ajimai.
Yeah.
His network in his room.
Yeah.
Ajimai, I feel your pain.
Yeah, it's
I
very
really
funny.
feel your pain.
You can be at some point, some part of your bed, and its edge, you just roll over, and it's 4G.
Well, basically, what happens with the telecom system is that they are the cell sites, right? So whenever they mount the mast or the tower, they are take them to be like circles, and they overlap with each other. So what happens is if you're traveling, for example, you are transmitted from one cell tower to the next, to the next, to the next, till you get to wherever you're going.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes they are what we call dead zones, where the cell sites do not overlap. And so, for example, on the motorway, anybody on, I don't want to mention any telco's name, but there's a particular telco. If you decide to start speaking from the Accra toll booth to Tema, your call is going to drop somewhere in between, and then you may have to
Call again.
Yeah. Because there are two dead zones. There's one closer to the Accra end of the motorway, and there's one closer to the Tema end of the motorway. So the call will drop, and then you'll have to dial again. And so it's possible that with this particular person,
He's
where he is or where his apartment is right there in a dead zone. So if it's in his room, he won't get it. But like he said, once he steps out, he gets it because it just probably interferes with his door or something.
Yeah. And then, so is this actually fixable with, let's say, like a repeater or something? We have mobile network repeaters out there that people can buy to boost the signal from one end to their room. Is this possible?
Well, with the telcos, you can have the repeaters to boost things like when you have your Wi-Fi in your house and you want to boost it to, say, another room. But you will not be able to have that for your mobile, because that you actually, unless you have access to it taking the signal from the cell site. You know, because the registration of your phone to the cell site is based on the SIM that you have. And so if you have a repeater which does not have any means of communicating to the cell site, then you'll still be short.
It means you basically need to get yourself a Iridium Thuraya phone. You know, those ones big. So, Ajamai,
So basically the phone version of Spikey's laptop.
Really?
Nice and big with
Really?
antenna.
So the numbers are 0302 216 541 and 0244 340437. As slow as possible. If you want to send us a WhatsApp or Telegram, it's 0244 340437. Now, if we're unable to answer your question in detail, you can find us on Telegram. There's a Geek Squad group there, and we have a whole lot of geeks there. I'm going to add all the geeks in here so they can answer your question in detail. We've got another question here from George. He says, hello, good evening, guys. Listening to you live from London. I have a MacBook Pro laptop. Some of the keys just stopped working. The keys are letters JMUN number 7. Please, how can I fix it? Thank you.
Take it back to Apple.
Really?
that is actually the fix.
Yeah.
It's a problem with their keyboard, so you have to take it back to them. And I think it's
butterfly switch.
Yeah, it's covered under your warranty, I think.
That's if you bought one.
But I feel like you can. I think some people are able to argue, because if it's a factory-based error, if it's something that will happen regardless of your intervention, they have to fix it. I actually had someone, this is very interesting, but someone had their MacBook fixed in Ghana here at the mall by arguing it out, by showing a whole document that showed that Apple says that if you are a verified retailer of their products, this particular problem you're supposed to fix for free.
Wow.
Yeah. So you should look up those things.
It's like the law, you know.
Yeah.
When you know it, yeah.
Yeah. Hi guys, my friend sent me an iPhone 6s, but I can't use it because it's a T-Mobile. Any help?
Well, it's locked down. Yeah,
it's locked. Call your friend to call T-Mobile to tell them if he's paid in full. They would actually
unlock it for him.
There are ways to go around it, but I mean they are not legit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Seeing as we are upstanding citizens.
Yeah.
So hi, the name is Spiky. Hi Spiky, great show. I want to know why I get very poor. Okay, that's Ajama. I think we've dealt with
right, Spiky. There was Spiky.
Really? Quick one has wanted to say something.
No.
Okay. So hi, I'm Anthony from Cape Coast. I think when it comes to data security, there's no 100% secure data. If we know the vast amount of information that Google Chrome and Android gathers from us, we would stop using the internet. I think the internet has more information about us than we know about ourselves. Let's just be careful in exposing ourselves so much on the internet. Thank you very much, Anthony, for that.
To add a little to what he said, like Samuel said, we should be more focused on what we share to the public than to what a company that has its interest at stake. Because if there's a data breach, you can sue them. So it's in their best interest to hide your stuff. But someone on the streets, he's just on the streets. If he follows your patterns and wants to come after you, then so you should be more concerned with that kind of data
Rather than a big
rather
company.
than
Yeah.
company.
And especially like on Facebook, I get people checking into
Yeah, places.
places, so, and people do that often. So it's more like you'll be able to tell wherever they are at any point in time. I would prefer to share after I've left the place rather than to check in when I'm still at the venue.
Okay, so if you're listening to us, we have been nominated for Tech Media Program of the Year at the Mobex Africa Innovation Awards.
Hooray!
Yeah, and we would very much like for you to vote for us. So you can vote at Mobex Africa. That's MOBEX Africa.org. When you go there, just go to the voting tab, click on it, scroll down to the Tech Media Program of the Year and look for Geek Squad and vote for us. We will very much appreciate it. And share with your friends. Tell them that the show that you've been listening to that you really enjoy,
That's been helping you out with all your problems.
that's
Saving you from circle scams.
Giving you the most up-to-date and useful information you could require.
you guys should start a marketing company. You should vote for us, and we would really, really appreciate it. So, if you want to, you have some questions, you can call us 0302 216 541 and 0244 340 437. 0302 216 541 and 0244 340 437. You can also send us a WhatsApp or a Telegram on 0244 340 437. Now, Joshua, see, I almost called you, bro. You are a member of the IoT group, and you guys have a conference coming up on the 31st. What's it? Because last week when we had our show, we had the Women in Tech, and they were having an event on blockchain, and a lot of people wanted to know if such tech-related events were going on because they wanted to be plugged in.
Okay.
So we have some 2 events coming up, and we think they should share. So you guys who want to be plugged in can go there and learn some. So Josh, tell us about your event.
No, all right. So we have the IoT Network Hub.
Yeah.
And every month we meet at Kofi Annan ICT Center. And we meet every last Saturday of the month. So we'll be meeting this Saturday.
Okay.
And there's also the Africa Digital Summit coming up. So this summit is bringing all the tech stakeholders in Ghana to one platform to discuss the future of Africa. Yeah. So these are the 2 events coming up, all at Kofi Annan ICT Center. The Digital Summit started at 8 a.m., while the IoT Network Hub will be starting around 1 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're hoping to see everyone there.
Is there item 13?
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely.
We have a caller on the line. Hello, Salah.
Hi there. Good evening to you guys.
Good evening to you too.
So I'm going phone shopping, and I'm actually confused because between the iPhone, Samsung, and Huawei, I don't know which one to get. The most important thing for me is picture quality. So, what would be your take?
Thank you very much, Salah. Now, before we answer that, we have David on the line. Hello, David. Hello, David.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
It's a wonderful thing you guys are doing out there. I mean, I'm so happy that we have Ghanaians doing this, and the team you have there is superb, guys. I'm so particular about the security, and I think your guys just summarize everything. I think Ghanaians, we don't pay particular attention to security. You see somebody logging onto his Gmail account, he doesn't log out, and just shut his laptop down, and he's gone. And he uses the same laptop probably to be downloading some movies from some online somewhere. And so, these are some of the things that people don't pay particular attention to. So, I mean, the comment your panelists made by saying that we should be more concerned about ourselves, I mean, what we do to ourselves than maybe paying too much attention to the fact that some companies gathering data, probably to even improve their service delivery to us. So we should be more concerned about ourselves. But my question is that I have this Yahoo Mail,
Okay.
and I use it to open my Facebook account. Trust me, till today, if I use the same password to enter into that Yahoo account, it tells me incorrect password. But I can use it to open my Facebook. What's the cost?
Okay, so we will answer that shortly. Thank you very much, David, for calling. So Ivy wants to know Apple,
quality.
Samsung,
Huawei.
Salah.
It's actually very interesting because I'm putting together a drive because I get asked that question a lot. Someone come up to me, oh, I want to buy a phone. I have only 1,000 CDs. Battery is my focus. People ask these questions. If money isn't a problem for you, if money isn't a problem and brand isn't a problem for you, I know I'll probably get kicked for saying this, but it seems Apple is the best choice for you if picture quality because there's consistency in their pictures. But if you are worried about brand, you can get the latest Samsungs and the latest Huawei's. They are equally as competent. I know I haven't said anything, but I feel like the Apple would just sort you out.
My best advice is, fortunately for Ivy, all these brands are available in Ghana. When it comes to quality, the way we all process things are a little bit different.
Yeah.
There are some people who are already pro photographers. So when they talk quality, they are looking at depth and everything. Go into a shop, and most of these shops have phones on demo, on display. Pick one, take a picture. Go to the other shop, take pictures yourself and compare. And afterwards, go for the one that you felt gave you the best shot. Yeah.
I suspect Salah is also going to be interested in peace of mind for a use, because she says she's only interested in picture quality. Man, she doesn't really want to think about using the phone.
Yeah.
And one thing you can't say about Apple is that thing is
very
strong in their favor.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't need to
phone,
worry.
you don't need to worry. You pick up phone, use it, and you're very happy.
Yeah. So that is why I'm not an Apple fan, but yeah.
Okay, so
the password thing.
Yeah, the Yahoo passwords. Right
Yeah.
after then, Yao and Frank and Samuel will talk about Accra.net. So
The password thing is very interesting. You remember Yahoo had a very huge breach?
Yes.
Very big breach. So maybe these people whose passwords are
Not
iffy
working.
are probably
Someone
felt-
else have taken up over the account.
So calling Yahoo is really
the best
really
bet
is
right
your
now.
best bet.
If you're lucky and you had your phone number, well, if they got your password, they probably did go inside and change your phone number and all your recovery details.
But
So
it's also
calling-
possible that he's actually using two separate passwords because he says that he uses the Yahoo
To log
account
into
to log into Facebook. Chances are he had a different password for Facebook, which he's trying to use the same password for Yahoo. But
Okay.
And also check if he's been pawned.
Yes,
Yeah.
so check if I suspect that.
Yeah, just check if you've been pawned.
So Yao and Frank and Samuel, you guys can tell us about Accra.net.
Okay, so we are from Accra.net user group, and it's a user group that is focused on Microsoft and other open source technologies.
Okay.
So we are having an event this Saturday at NIIT, and we are going to be talking about Azure Cloud. So we are going to be looking at cloud computing.
Okay.
There are a lot of people who've heard about cloud computing, but they don't know what it is. So we want to show them what cloud computing is and how to build applications on the cloud.
So
Star, you can go.
No, you go on.
No, let me start.
Well, so basically we are excited about programming, and we know that I have always said that apart from I know security is a major thing, but if you look at it on the African continent and even in the world, software and application development is actually becoming the frontier. That is what is driving a lot of things. At the back of it sit the security, because if they go in and they are getting all the data, they need to ensure that these things are secured. And as part of what we're doing, we want to demystify some of these things about how you build apps, have them hosted on a cloud platform like Azure, and how it communicates with various gadgets and all of that. So we're starting first with Azure, but there are a number of things that we'll be doing, and this meetup is going to be happening once every month, and we're hosting this one at NIT. And talk of item 13, there'll be lots of pizzas and drinks, because there's going to be a pre-meetup, catch-up event where there'll be lots of boxes of pizza. So,
And networking. So, I mean, get into the tech world, get plugged in, meet all these awesome guys. I mean, geeks are awesome, man. They're very awesome.
Except when they give out your data like that.
So, over the years, since it's been how long since we started the show? It's been like it's more been over a year.
Yeah.
And people have been listening. It's always a good thing to know that people are listening. So today I'm going to give some shout outs to some people who tagged us on social media. There's a lady called Renee Aku Afedo. She gave us some shout outs on Facebook. Someone was asking a question and she answered that there's a show on JoyFM called Geek Squad. It airs every Tuesday at 7 to 8. And she's learnt a lot from there. So, shout out to you, Renee. Merci beaucoup, what he said. And then to Edward Tenumensa, you also say you also listen. And Timeka Commissioner Rock Richard, wow, he was also a listener. You wanted to say something.
I do recall a certain damsel by a colorful name. I think was it Violet or something. She called to say she liked Spikey's voice or liked Spikey. Yeah. Do we remember that?
We never heard from her.
I think we should give her a shout out. Hopefully she's well.
Listen, please do call back.
So before we round up, I'll have people asking for your numbers, but it's a very sensitive thing to give phone numbers out on air. So we like to give social media handles. Mine is @TheRealSpikey, and Kwekwana is
if you're wondering why we are laughing, he shook his head.
He's a myth. So he
stays off the grid.
Yeah, he stays off the grid. You can't find him anywhere.
You can find him in the web or in the corner somewhere, but not on any.
Actually, there's a bot that answers Kwekwanas's questions on the Telegram group. So just come and drop your question there. That bot will answer your question. So, and then Frank.
So I'm on Twitter. My handle is @Mr_Odum ODOM.
Okay, so Mr_Odum, and then
mine is @Sadrany SADRANY.
And Joshua?
IoT Network Hub on all social platforms.
Okay.
You can connect with me.
Yao?
On Twitter, Why I'm Watching.
Yeah.
On Twitter, @Mr_Watcher. But I haven't been a social being for like 6 months now. So yeah, it'll be hard to find me.
Sorry about that, but I can get some messages. You can send the messages to him through me at @MAjete.
So yeah. Essentially, you are his PA for now. So the final question, William from Winneba is saying, please, hypothetically speaking, can an iPhone be hacked?
Yes.
And he's asking again, is Hackintosh really possible?
Yes. Even if the iPhone itself can't be hacked, you, the person, can be hacked.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, that's a way to get.
You end up making the iPhone vulnerable.
Yeah.
Well, there's a $1 million, or is it 100 words?
It's $1 million.
$1 million bounty
for
anyone who can hack. It says hands off. Basically, you don't have to touch the device, right?
Yeah.
And then you can hack it.
That's a jailbreaking tool. It's also quite a thing.
Well, and you asked about Hackintosh. That also exists.
Hackintosh is a thing. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to us. It's been a Q&A session on the last Tuesday of the month. My name is Kobe Spiky Nkrumah. You can find me online at @TheRealSpiky. Please don't forget to vote for us to win Tech Media Program of the Year.
Spiky wear a suit.
So a big thank you to my producers Abeku San Kofi, Dennis the Fairboy, and Dela Glanu. This has been Geek Squad, and we will catch you next week, same time. Right now it's the news. After that, it's Overdrive with Sammy Force.